डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Hello friends, welcome to Chaitanya Studio of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University. I, Professor Amit Suthar from Department of Computer Science, welcomes you in our lecture series of HTTP vulnerabilities and utilities in cybersecurity. So today we are going to discuss this many topics in this session. This is basically regarding in the scanning for web vulnerabilities tools and HTTP utilities. So these are my ultimate outline for the today's discussion. From them we are basically discuss the learning objective, introduction and scanning for web vulnerability tools like Nikto, W3AF. Then after we are also going to discuss the HTTP utilities like curl, OpenSSL, then HTunnel. So basically the learning objective for this session, after the studying this unit, students should be able to identify different kinds of web vulnerabilities using various tools, as well as students is also able to find the knowledge regarding the HTTP utilities. So in this block, basically the focus on the tools that aid in the analysis and defense of the software that run on system and drives web applications. So it explains how to use the command line as well as proxy tools to find the web vulnerabilities in various web applications as well as websites. So basically the scanning for web vulnerability tools, these are the tools actually. Web vulnerability scanners are the software programs that scan websites. Generally it looks for web vulnerabilities like cross-site scripting. Also we can say it's a XSS attack as well as SQL injection, file directory listing and insecure web server configuration. So this kind of software is also referred to a dynamic application security testing tools. We will going to discuss each and every aspects of scanning for the web vulnerabilities. So first one is the Nikto. So Nikto is one kind of a tool to find the insecure and various files, settings and programs on the web server. Basically hackers or pen testers will use it to scan for vulnerabilities and discover the weakest link, allowing him to spend a minimal amount of time and effort actually attacking the target. So this is the tool where basically the potential problems can be included through the examining of the web server and identify the potential problems, including like poor server configuration settings, default files, unsafe files. So all kinds of problems can be identified through that. Web pen tester or hacker can be compromise such kind of configuration settings as well as weakest link as well. Okay. So how to run this Nikto? Basically we are running this tool in Kali Linux actually. Why Kali Linux? Actually the Kali is the operating system, Linux operating system, which have the pre-installed such kind of web vulnerable scanner tools are there. That's why I suppose to recommend to use the Kali operating system. So in Kali there is a terminal, and through that terminal just I have to enter the -h option with targeted host name or IP address, whatever you want to target that particular host or IP in terminal to start the vulnerability scanning. So this is the following example. As you seen in screen, there is a one command that will be executed in Linux terminal. So nicto, you must have to type the nicto with -h option and whatever your target host or IP address you can use. Then after the W3AF is the another tool for the scanning for the web vulnerability tools. So basically it's a acronym of the web application attack and audit framework. Basically this framework is to find the web application vulnerabilities like SQL injection, cross-site scripting and many more. It also provides information about web app vulnerability and support to pen testing. So basically it supports three kinds of plugin W3AF. In this W3AF there is basically crawl, audit and attack. Let's see what is crawl. Okay, so crawl it will finding the only URLs in which the injection point occurs. That means the URL is going to find out through the crawler. Okay, so input for this plugin is the URL and it will provide one or more injection points. Then after audit plugin is there. So audit plugin will perform the input as injection point found by the crawler, or we can say it's a crawl, and identify the web app vulnerabilities like SQL injection. And the third one is the attack. So in this attack, this is the actually exploit the vulnerabilities, whatever found in by the crawl and then after audit. Okay, so this is to exploit the vulnerabilities found by the audit. They generally return a dump of table on remote server if it is SQL injection vulnerabilities. So there are other plugins actually available in W3AF like infrastructure, grep, output, as well as mangle, brute force and evasion. So there are so many plugins available in W3AF utility. So how to run this W3AF? Again, I would like to say that it is pre-installed in Kali Linux. Okay, so also it is in the form of CUI, character user interface, as well as it is in GUI environment, graphical user interface. So whatever, if we are using the command base, so that is used in CUI. As we can see in screen, there is W3F_console. That is the command. Through that command we can execute the W3AF console. So I would like to share one screen. In this I have a help command after entering into W3AF. So through the start, by entering the W3AF_console in terminal, you will get this kind of prompt. Okay, so in W3AF prompt, firstly we would like to see some commands available inside W3AF. So we can found that command or help through the help command. Okay, you must have to enter the help, then after press and enter, you will get such kind of screen. Okay, so start, plugin, exploit, profile, cleanup. So these are the various commands available inside W3AF. So start, basically it start the scan, plugins, enable and configure plugins, exploit, so exploit the vulnerabilities whatever find we have find it, profiles, so list and use of whatever what we have found the profile that we will going to scan. Okay, A cleanup before starting a new scan. So it will erase whatever the profile founded by previous command. And there are several version or keys available inside the W3F utility. So basically there are several settings like HTTP settings. So it will configure the HTTP setting of the framework. Then after miscellaneous settings, which will return the configure W3F miscellaneous settings. A target, that means configure the targeted URL. Actually we have to provide the URL inside the W3F when we want to scan that particular target for the finding the web vulnerabilities. And there are back command is used for the previous menu, as well as there is exit. So it will come out from the W3F utility. So we can use such kind of commands in W3F scanner. So the following tools are then after we are going to the finding the HTTP utilities. The following tools are used to perform connections over HTTP or HTTPS. Basically we have seen NICTO and W3AF. Okay, so that those are the tools, actually software tools, okay, which are provide the one kind of a scanner program for finding the web vulnerabilities. Now we are going to finding the HTTP utilities. So actually the utilities are basically whatever we have found the connection in the web through the HTTP or HTTPS. So HTTPS is basically secure protocol, okay, uses the secure protocol. So basically they are not supposed to find any vulnerabilities actually, but it is the functionality can be extends the support towards the vulnerability scanners. So there are several HTTP utilities like curl, CURL. Curl is an easy to use command line tool to send and receive files, and it supports almost all major protocol like DICT, file, FTP, file transfer protocol secure, hypertext transfer protocol secure, LDAP, POP3, SMTP and many more. So all kinds of protocol, majorly all the protocols has been covered in curl utility. So what are the features available in curl utility? So can be used inside your shell script with ease, support features like pause and resume of downloads. It has around 120 command line option for various tasks, and also it run on all major operating system like Windows operating system, Linux operating system as well as Mac also. Okay. So basically these are the features, various features. Among them supports of cookies, forms, SSL. So basically cookies and forms and SSL are generally supports in the we can say used in HTML or web programming actually for providing the session mechanism. Okay. So also we can find the cookies value through the curl. Okay. So both curl command line tool and libcurl library are open source, so they can be used in any of your programs. It supports configuration files as well, multiple upload with a single command. So we can upload much more files through the single command in curl utility, as well as progress bar, rate limiting and download time details. So all these are features available in curl. Also it supports for the IPv6, that is IP version 6. Basically in normal scenario we are using the IP4, but the advanced version is the IPv6 of the internet protocol. Also it is support by the curl. Then after, the another utility, HTTP utility, which is OpenSSL. Now OpenSSL is a free security protocol. Basically OpenSSL, secured socket layer. Okay, SSL, that means secure socket layer. So OpenSSL is a free security protocol. As we said that it is open, so it is openly for all, and it supports the open source community. So OpenSSL libraries are used by a lot of business projects in their system and products. They are using the OpenSSL library for their system products also. Okay. So OpenSSL libraries and set of computer instructions can be used with OpenSSL command, and through that it is the most common library for establishing the encrypted connection. Okay. So why encrypted connection? Because sometime what happen, we want to establish a secure connection, but over the web we are not providing so many kinds of security. Might be possible there will be a unencrypted connection and transmission of the data packets. So OpenSSL provides the encrypted connection between source to destination. So the S represent, as we know that HTTPS, that means hypertext transfer protocol secure. So S represent in HTTP connection that uses the secure socket layer for transport the data. Encrypted connection in web are often use the HTTP connection, but it provides the limited security, whereas the HTTPS, okay, so HTTPS provides the basic kind of security, but ultimately it's limited security. That's why we are going to use the OpenSSL for the providing the encrypted connection between source to destination. So the SSL, secure socket layer and transport layer security protocol offer security from reading a plain text data points between sender and receiver. So this is a one simple example through of the of OpenSSL. Let's see. Again, I would like to say it is pre-installed in Kali Linux. So through that terminal, you can execute the command like this available in screen. So basically, I have a one file called MSG, or we can say MSG file. Okay. Now there is a plain text MSG file. Inside I would like to perform the encryption on that particular file. So my file can be transfer from source to destination using OpenSSL. So how can we achieve this using OpenSSL? So firstly, we need to execute the OpenSSL command with several parameter like enc. Here you can see in example OpenSSL, then there is a one space actually between OpenSSL and enc. Enc is used for the encryption. Okay. So there are several cipher command available in OpenSSL. Among them, AES 256 CBC is the one cipher command with base 64 encryption utility. So OpenSSL, then space, then enc, then space, and I have to provide the encryption cipher command. Actually, there are so many cipher command available in OpenSSL. Among them, I have provided the AES 256 CBC with base 64 encryption. Then after in parameter, so in parameter is -in, -in is in parameter which will accept my plain text file which I would like to encrypt for the particular destination. Okay. So, MSG is my plain text file. Then after I am going to provide the out file which I am going to transfer to the destination server or destination node. Okay. So, out is my output file and you can see here enc is my output file. So, after entering this command you will prompt for the password. Okay. So, you have to provide the particular password whatever you desired. After that it is again for verifying the encrypted password. So, again you have to enter the same password for verification purpose. Then after you can see in your desired location the enc file is generated through this OpenSSL command. Okay. So, simply the next one is the cat enc. So, I have displayed this file. Actually, this is the output file of the OpenSSL command and I am performing the cat command and displaying the enc file. So, now you can see it is not a plain text file, actually it is encrypted file. Okay. So, let us see how the receiver will receive. Okay. So, following example is for decryption. Now, you can see here OpenSSL enc, OpenSSL enc is my command for now I am going to provide the decryption. Okay. So, again I have to provide the AES 256 CBC that is my cipher command. Now, I am going to provide the -d option. Actually, -d represent the decryption. Okay. -d for the decryption and base 64 is my decryption algorithm. So, now my in file is actually this is encrypted file which I have got from the sender. Okay. Then after again I have to provide the output file. So, it is the ultimate output of your encrypted file and inside out you will get the decrypted file. Okay. Whatever sent by the sender. Okay. So, then after I have to press and enter and provide the decryption password. Okay. So, I have to provide the decryption password. Then after you can see I am going to provide or displaying the DEC file. Actually, DEC file is my output file of decrypted OpenSSL. Okay. So, through that you can see cat DEC command. While I am executing this cat DEC command, you will get this plain text content. Inside that you can see here, hi, this is demo of OpenSSL. So, through that OpenSSL we can transfer the secure encrypted file over the network. Okay. So, this is the ultimate use of OpenSSL. Then after the next utility is the S-tunnel. Okay. Actually, S-tunnel, it is a program to provide encryption between client and remote server. It run on cross-platform operating system. You can you could also encrypt any type of network communication. So, for instance, you could encrypt unencrypted messages with S-tunnel. So, through the S-tunnel if you want to bypass a firewall or intrusion prevention system, you wanted to hide essentially your malware or bad program or information by encrypting it, you can use the ASH tunnel. Basically, it uses to bypass any types of detection scheme on that network, would not be able to see what you are doing cause of sending encrypted traffic across the network. So basically, what is tunneling? It means that a program, actually it's a daemon program. Daemon program is runs in the background, runs on the client as well as server machine. For example, Windows 2000 PC is the client and server is any Unix machine. So ASH tunnel will then execute as client on Windows and the server mode on Unix machine. So what is tunneling? Actually, in the following example, -D indicate ASH tunnel program execute in daemon mode on port 5800 and -R indicate that remote host machine, -C indicate that client mode. So Windows will execute ASH tunnel -D 5800, that is the port, -R for the remote machine, -R Unix IP address on port number 5800 and -C. So then after in Unix you will get the actually Unix is our client machine. So in client machine you will enter the ASH tunnel -D 5800, that is our port, and remote is 5801, you can say. So this is the our HTTP utilities inside our this session. So I would like to conclude now for this particular session. Thank you all.